client gave me a 1-star rating and now wants to hire me again. I ended the contract when I experienced a traumatizing day caused by the client. I worked for him as a video editor, editing 10-plus videos per week for a low price of $5 per hour. Needed work and money was enough to support me for my school allowance, and was still new in the industry, not knowing it was low when in fact it was high for me. This client's payment are often delayed, causing the contract to be paused, and of course delay my work. But client begged me to work even if the contract's paused, and I did it just because I trusted the client, as he had been paying me despite it being delayed sometime to cover for this. And for transparency, we have a Sheets for Time tracker to use as reference when logging in Upwork. First week of last month, the contract paused again, and I was hesitant to work because I had an off feeling, but the client begged me again, saying it was urgent, and I did work again. My fault here. However, when I reminded him of the balance he hadn't paid yet, he accused me of lying, that he had already paid me when there was a proof that he hadn't yet. After proving that, he then went on again saying bad things to me and accused me of lying and billing him for hours of work that I didn't do. But I had proof that I did from timestamps in Google Drive and even screenshots. But client continued to accuse me of lying, and when I pleaded to have a call with him to properly talk about it and explain my side, because I was confident I didn't lie and had enough proof to support myself, he threatened me to end the contract if I wanted to continue talking about getting the payment for that week that he didn't pay me yet. This was the reason I decided to just resign and end the contract, because as much as I wanted and needed the job, I don't want to experience that again. Ended the contract with respect and did really wish him well, even rated him a 4 because I didn't want to end it in a bad note, but received a 1 from the client. As a new freelancer, this has affected me a lot, as I knew it will lessen my chances of getting hired. After dwelling and getting sad over it, brushing over thoughts that the words he told me may be true, I decided to just get over it and work on trying to get new clients. But now I received a message from this client that he wanted to hire me again if I'm interested. If he didn't trust me to the point that he didn't want to pay me, why would he want to work for him again? This just showed me that he really just didn't want to pay me. I really don't understand why there are clients like this, but I learned a lot from this, and that's all what I'm trying to hold on to for now. Ask him to change your rating first, and then you will think about it. And never ever work for that client again. I'm work as freelancer since more than 10 years on Upwork, formerly Elance, and one thing is for sure, low-paying jobs equals difficult clients. And as a client, I also prefer to hire freelancers that ask for a high hourly rate. I don't even read the low proposals. Why? Because I'm looking for quality, the best. I don't have time to fool around with mediocre results. I did, and he said he will change it, but still didn't change it. Thank you. Did you enable the change feedback function? Yes, I did enable it and inform him of it too. Give him the opportunity to change his feedback by clicking on Enable Client to Change Feedback on the contract page. Once he has done that, don't say anything about it being a condition to accept their contract, though. Tell him you will be ready in 2 weeks' time. Unfortunately, you are currently snowed under with work and exams. Once the 2 weeks are over, and he can't change the feedback back to 1 star, tell them that unfortunately you're not available and block him. Will do. Thank you so much. Lol, exactly my thoughts, except I would want to chuck a F you in the chat first. Brilliant advice. Didn't think about the 2 weeks limit. Wow, so smart, lol. The only reason he's getting you again is because he can't find another person who would do the job at that price point. Don't take the job because there's a good chance he will repeat the bad stuff he did in the past, and he knows you're willing to take the abuse. Peace of mind is more important. Noted, and thank you so much. Invite him to change feedback, then ghost him after he changes the 1 star. Not straight away. Remember, The client can change the feedback as many times as he wants during the 2 weeks after first changing it. Oh, really? So you have to have them change it and then play cat and mouse for a couple weeks to let it set. Crazy useful knowledge. Thank you for pointing this out. Oh, really? Yes. Naughty. That is actually absurd. I could understand doing it once, but unlimited, raffle, no. We'll try to do it, and thank you. Never take a second contract from someone that rates you below 5 stars. If you have too many reviews below 5-star, clients will pass you over for those with better reviews. We all know a 4.3 is a passive-aggressive one. Anything below 5 and you have a client that will burn your profile. Noted. Thank you for the advice. Noted. Thank you for the advice. Do not work with clients paying you less than $20 per hour. They will lie or take advantage of you. If you take this job again, I have no words. Will they hire me for that rate even if I have a 1-star rating? I give up. Don't give up. Thank you for the advice, and I won't be working with the client again because I know it won't end well and that there's a high chance he'll do this again. What's your profile? I need some video editing work and willing to pay higher. Hi. I'm also a video editor. You can consider me bro. Read the room. It would be kind of nefarious, but if a client rates you low, you're more likely to not be hired by other clients, thereby keeping your rate low and your availability to that one client. This one definitely makes me feel sad the most because I know this would hinder a lot of opportunities for me in Upwork. I would not be too concerned about being rehired by that client. If they change the rating like they say they will, consider it, but not without a significant rate hike. I get 0 clients on Upwork because I refuse to value my time less than a certain amount, even though I show no experience on the site. I'm the one that took the time to learn to use the software. I'm the one that invested in the software and hardware to be able to do this thing. If they want it that cheap, they can go do it themselves. Whatever happens, I wish you the best for the future. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best, too. Any client driven by such dark, manipulative power plays should also know this. If they're not paying the freelancer a living wage, said freelancer will eventually have to make a living wage. Just maybe not on UW. They'll still lose the freelancer, actually, several times faster than if they paid well and left well-deserved good ratings. I agree with everything you say. However, I will add that there will always be another body just starting out, willing to work for slave wages in return for exposure and ranking in the search results. And because creating a disposable email and Upwork client account is trivial, there is really no way to stop it that I can see. The website has no incentive whatsoever to quash bad actors, as long as freelancers are paying real money to apply for work in addition to poorer, boosting their proposals, all while Upwork takes a percentage of the proceeds. The burden of profit for the website is on the freelancers, not the clients. I'd be petty. Tell him to change your rating first. Delay the 2 weeks stating you're busy so that he can't change it back like everyone else is advising. Then, if he persists on working with you, crank up your rate to $30 per hour because of your higher workload. Increase your asking price. Out of curiosity, I'm looking for an editor right now. Can you send me your portfolio, please? This client's payment are often delayed, causing the contract to be paused, and of course delay my work. But client begged me to work even if the contract's paused, and I did it just because I trusted the client, as he had been paying me despite it being delayed some time to cover for this. And for transparency, we have a Sheets for time tracker to use as reference when logging in Upwork. This isn't how Upwork works. If you run a time tracker in Upwork, up to the weekly limit, you are paid in full for that. It's hard for a person offering a job gig to dispute that, and they agree to pay that up front. As a contractor, if you are doing hourly, you agree to pay what is online time, unless you can show the screenshots that they were watching movies or something. Happened to me. You can only dispute offline time where they are not tracking their time using the time tracker. The only other way to do this is to do project-based or milestone-based work. The person can totally dispute it if you deliver and it's not what was agreed to or promised. This has no timesheets and no online time tracking. It's per deliverables. There are definitely bad actors on Upwork. No doubt. But I don't think the story is 100% contained in this post. But if you have had a bad experience with this guy, 100% don't work with him again. It's pretty simple. You're not required to do anything. Let me clarify first. The timesheets we use is for when I work during the time the contract is paused, as I can't log hours into my work diary during those time, then I log those hour in the same week the contract is fixed, or he pay me as a bonus, as the task do not only require me to video edit but take videos too. Thus, manual time tracking is what we do. So if the client do not pay me, it gets refunded instead. Plus, my hours isn't even half of the work hours we have, and we had an agreed hours of work per video. As mentioned, I had outputs, and there's proof of that, and the client even uploaded those, therefore I believe it was an output he approved of. I've no issues with not getting paid, as I know it was my fault for working when the contract is paused, and I'm really just venting out my frustrations here. Thank you. Ask him to change your rating, even offer a greater incentive such as editing for a lower cost or a freebie, and the moment he changes your rating, ghost him. It's the sad reality, but it's your first job. You need the rating to be nothing less than 5 stars, and do whatever it takes for him to change it. And the moment he changes your rating, ghost him. Bad advice. Then the client can just go and change it back to 1 star. The OP has to wait 14 days. Oh, that's the case? Well, I never had to face it, so didn't know about it. Ghost him after 14 days. It is sad. Client did say he will change it, but still waiting for him to change it. Thank you. Unless you enabled the feedback change function, the client can't change it. Indian? Who? Your client. I guess you're Filipino. Yes, I'm Filipino and client is from US. Client is from US. Wow, so it's possible that there are bad clients from places other than India. This is very useful information. Sadly, that was my first thought too. Many bad experiences.